Level Up Latina partners with working women and mamas alike to guide them in achieving fulfilling career and life goals through financial empowerment, professional or leadership coaching, and personal wellness. Find the unique coaching you need to succeed.
You're listening to Vero, Ceci, and Irene, and we are Level Up Latina.
Welcome back to another episode of the Level Up Latina podcast. This is episode 247, and this is a very special episode because we happen to all be together in San Francisco.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We are so excited because we got to speak at the Latinas in Tech Summit not once but twice this week. And I'm laughing because Vero found my missing eyelash. That's exactly why we record in person. The missing eyelash is in the pillow. I wondered where that was all night, all day. I knew I was living life with one eyelash, but I'm glad we have found it. The eyelash has surfaced.
It's the fourth member of LUL.
I love it. That's the fourth member of LUL. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So we are here live and recording from San Francisco again because we were at the Latinas in Tech Summit here that took place. So we were here at the summit together, super excited, full of good energy, thinking about just being chingonas in business, celebrating 5 years. We have a wonderful topic that we're bringing to you today. That topic is called Mean Girls. So we're going to talk about our experiences with mean girls and when we've been mean girls, when we've run into mean girls. And so we will share this topic because it's so important because as much as we think we grow up, we mature, we evolve, sometimes you just deal with las sangronas, the haters. So that's the episode we're bringing to you today. So funny because all we feel is love and connection and vibes and good times. But we have a funny story that we'll share from this weekend. Well, really not even the weekend. It's Thursday, Friday, but it feels like a weekend. Mm-hmm. We've been together. We've been in San Francisco. Vero and I have our own rooms. We're living our best lives. And so we are so excited to be here today with all of you. So before we get into the Mean Girls topic, ¿cómo están Ceci y Vero?
Muy bien. Still on cloud nine. Definitely yesterday, cloud nine all the way. Ahora I'm kind of slow because I had a really early morning. I had to wake up earlier than usual, be at the immigration offices, oh my God, like at 7:40 a.m. y ready to go. Pero ya, aquí estamos en cama.
Sí, yo estoy en cama con dos jefas super chingonas that I get to like look at and admire the whole time we're recording. I'm good. I'm excited. I was just saying how the creativity flows and our energy, our chemistry when we're together is like, no se compara para nada when we are in our virtual recording sessions. So I'm very happy to be here with you ladies. And energy wise, like I told you guys, after this, like I think I'm going to pass out. I'm going to fall asleep.
I know. All energy.
Like, how is it? Like,
virtual reality.
Hey.
That's not the song you were singing earlier.
No, it's a different one.
That one's X-rated.
That one we'll sing for the random episode.
For
we'll
the
sing
random
it.
episode.
Yeah, we're good. We're doing good.
Yes, we love it. Vero's spot on. It's so good to be in Ceci's hometown, her backyard. We've really enjoyed our time together. We get to get away from family, from kids. We get to be with other amazing women. We ran into some killer women. We got to hang out with some of the organizers of the conference, the summit, and they are incredible women. We're so blessed to know them and to be in community with them. And then we had a moment where we ran into a random woman that we know from this circle, we've known for a couple of years and in this world. And she didn't really seem really happy to see us. So it made us feel like, wait, what did we do to her? She's always been happy to see us before.
Como
it was, it was a weird exchange. So we thought, we got to talk about Mean Girls today.
First of all, I was like, oh my God, it's so-and-so.
And we all remember her name. We all went up excited.
Super excited. Como like, ready to be part of it. Like, hey, let's like reunite.
And which usually happens, right? When we see someone like that we've met virtually through, this space and because of our work with Level Up Latina, and when we see them in person, like they're excited to see us, we're excited to see them. So we thought, right, that this was going to happen.
Mutual.
Yeah. And when we've seen her before, it's been great. Yeah. Like worked with her, collaborated with her. I mean, I don't know about worked with her, but like been in her world, like she's been in our panels or we've been in hers, like some level of being in each other's world and growing businesses simultaneously. And also because everybody else we ran into was nothing but love.
Yeah.
Everybody else that we knew, that we know from like being clients or other organizations. I mean, other coaches, other first-gen coaches. I mean, technically you would think they're our competition, but nothing but love for each other, fangirling over each other. But this girl was like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
You spoke? Like, yeah, we spoke.
There's breakout rooms?
Yeah. She's going to know it's her with that one.
Well, she better know. She better know. The thing is that I shared this with you ladies, and for all of you, this is Vero. I have a hard time with just like, I think because when I come to people, not on people, but when I come, like when I present myself with other, like I'm very genuine. Like, I show up with who, like completely genuinely who I am. And if I bring this energy, like, no me gusta when someone really fakes it like that. That is hypocritical. And like that energy to me, I'm just like, we were really genuinely excited to see you. And your reactions were this. And then it really, like, at my soul, like, and a lot of things don't bother me. Yeah. But when it is that kind of like mean girlness, hypocritical kind of thing, I'm just like, nah, we ain't cool.
And the minute it happened, hurts. We all kind of looked at each other like, this is weird. It's a little forced.
Yeah, we all felt it. Yeah, like a couple instances or minutes after, we're like, wait, was that just me, or did we all feel that it was mutual?
Yeah. We couldn't wait to talk about it. No, I felt like we were trying to get out of the space to not be chismonas. Chismonas is a word right now. Yeah. Chismonas and buenonas. We were like, we don't want to be that right now. No más ser chismosas. We're going to walk outside and talk in peace. Yeah. Did we feel that? And we did. And we all connected today. We're like, we have to bring it to the podcast, because I was also thinking, like, maybe we've been that girl. Maybe we've run into people and not been happy to. And, like, maybe we're going through something. Like, you try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But I think the comment about, like, almost like, why are y'all here? And why are you speaking? It felt a little like she was, but, like, we're Level Up Latina. We've been around for 5 years. Everyone listens to our podcast. Like, we don't mean that from a conceited place. Like, all the powerhouses, we were just talking about so many amazing women that have come through our podcast. They're writing books. They're being recognized. They're getting awards. They're on the stage. They're doing incredible work. They're actresses. They're on television. They're running incredible businesses. They're on our show. Like, it's just Vero, Ceci, and Irene, but not just Vero, Ceci, and Irene. Like, we've been contributing to success and giving back, and we want that for ourselves too. So we take that from women and we give to women. So it just felt a little like, why are y'all here? It's like, because we all belong in this space.
I was like, oh no, hold my earrings. Why are you here?
Yeah. who are you here with?
Who are you here with?
It's almost like we wanted to look at her name badge and see what was written on that name badge. Yeah. But then we're meeting Mean Girls back. So, like, we're trying to bring this conversation because it's hard.
Pero ¿qué dijimos? Que sacarlo. Que sacarlo. Que se salga, because, it turns into cancer. Yeah. Let's get it out. Thank you, Magali, for that one, because we're going to, I am using it forever.
You've been using it.
I've been using it a lot, because it's true. Like, if you are going through some shit, talk to people. Don't like let it out on them. But hey, can I borrow your ears for a second? I really need to release.
For sure. This. And we've been doing that a lot this weekend. Like, I'm going to keep saying weekend. So to us, this is like the weekend. But this summit, being together, just sharing with each other, asking each other questions, talking about what's going on. Like, my husband's driving me crazy, my kid, my this, my that, my job, my that. Like, it's okay to do that too, because sometimes maybe we need that, because we're so worried about, like, social media and looking good and people's bubbles. But, like, authentic, real conversation is like, hey, how are you? How's it going? Life sucks. All right, let's talk about it. Like, or life is great. I celebrate you. I'm not going to hate on you. Like, you're winning right now. I love it. That energy is the anti-mean girl energy. And we need more of that. Any other time that someone's been a hater? Because we got to talk about haters today.
I can't think of one, but I can think of, like, a time. But like you're saying, it's because the things that you go through. Like, I could think of, like, myself being kind of, like, bitchy towards people. Yeah, I've done that before. I forgot if I've talked about it on the podcast, but I remember telling you guys how I felt like I just came off bitchy with our nanny. Yeah, I was just like, I was very short with her. Like, I was just like, oh no, not like this. Hi, Doña Maria, hágalo así, like. And I remember, but it was like during my first year as a mom. Yeah. So, like, lack of sleep. I had gone back to work when the girls were 6 months, and I felt and maybe I felt jealous that she was like, she was with my babies the whole day.
Yeah. That tends to happen.
Yeah. So, like, that was how it was coming out, like, just being mean, very short with her. And Luz me decía, las te tienen miedo. And I was like, but I'm no longer like that. And now I hope she understands, like, okay, that's why that was happening, porque, she was going through a lot, and, hormones.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes we're the mean girl, and sometimes there's people that are mean to us. I think the biggest thing is, like, we don't know what people are going through. We're going to let you move around just in case it comes out on the show and it might sound a little weird. Yeah, me and Vero are all making love to the mic. We lay down. We are on top of this
Oh,
mic.
I'm
So
getting
Sis is going
cramped
to
up.
lay down. There's going to be
Should we
3 of
move
us
up a little
laying
more? If I can
and
find
shuffling.
this
So if you hear the shuffling, you know what that is. We're just getting really intimate with you all. Mean Girls brings out the intimacy.
Mhm.
Then, like, we're making love to the mic. She is doing something else with this mic. It
It
is
was
right
like
up in my
all up
face.
in her
Share
face.
the mic, Ceci.
So yeah, I can think of times where I've definitely been going through it. I can think of times where I was not easygoing with my suegra, with my in-laws, like being super delicada with them and not necessarily needing to be. And I'm so much more easygoing with them. I don't know what happens in life, but like I can recognize it now when I think that my younger in-laws are being kind of like delicados, and I'm like, and I don't even know if delicados is the word because I don't like being described that way, but sentis or irritated or critical, like we ain't got nothing to prove, but I can remember feeling like with my suegra, like trying to have something to prove or kind of talking back or calling her out on stuff that I felt was weird. Like if she was being a chismosita or hypocritical, but that's not my place. Let my suegra live her life. So I finally have come to a place like, let her say whatever she's going to say. I don't have to like battle those battles, but I was probably going through stuff. Likely, not
Yeah.
probably. I was likely going through stuff and with her son. So it's easy to take it out on the suegra if I feel like she's being crabby or not even crabby because she's not crabby. My thing with my suegra is I feel she's very passive aggressive. So when she wasn't direct with me, I would always ask her to be direct with me. Like, just tell me, like, is there something you want to say? Or like, not like that, guys, but like, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? And so she wouldn't like communicate. And I remember telling my husband, like, your mom kind of has this roundabout way. Luego te dice a ti, like, I don't know, maybe te tiene miedo. It's like, why? Am I being the mean girl or I'm just being direct, right? But it's not like that with my suegra anymore. So it's kind of cool. But just being the mean girl to people in our world, maybe we're just jealous of that. Maybe we feel jealousy sometimes, Biddle.
I mean, we all feel it. We all feel that sometimes unintentionally, meanness. I don't think that I could be mean. I probably can be. I'm not probably. I have been mean to people, but it hasn't been just because. There's been a reason. But I don't like in general, like with people, I don't think I do that. Like, I'm not like,
yeah, you're super.
Ay, guacala, no, like, casa pa allá, no. I think there's one of our friends that I think has seen a little bit more of my meanness just because I would be like, oh, you're so annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
And I would just be mean to her. And I know she knows who she is because I have apologized to her in the past. Yeah.
It says like we're together, you can mouth it. I know. You can mouth it. Oh, yeah.
I was like, yeah, like, dude, get off me, like leave me alone. And I would do mean things. Well, casi,
pushing her off
but
the
more of like, I
go me caes gorda,
like, me caes gorda. No, like, but like dumb shit. Like it was more like the stuff that you do to a little sister, like that.
Yeah.
Push me off the bed, Ceci. Okay, Ceci was like this. I'm trying to push me off the bed, but
I'm not gonna be able to move on from go me caes gorda.
I know.
Anyway, so you would be mean to her, but she deserved it.
But like at that point, I know.
No es cierto, no es cierto.
In my eyes, at that moment, she deserved it, right? Because that's why I was behaving like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I realized that I wasn't in my best self at that time. Like, I was like, I was such a mean person to her. Like, not grossly mean, but I was doing things that were not actually nice either.
Yeah.
So I apologized to her.
Yeah.
And I think that's been that. And then I think it's been a lot of unintentional meanness. I mean, you and I, Irene, you and I had some moments like that. And it's been a mission to like recognize that for myself. So it's just been a mission for me to recognize, like, I sometimes unintentionally, like, maybe my thoughts beat me to my words and I don't find the words or take the moment to process it. And then I post it or I send it or I say it. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it ends up being hurtful to that person. Yeah. And even if my intention wasn't, that person received that message and was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
And I could see it. And now I'm like, I do a lot. I reflect a lot too. And it's one of those things where like, you have to, we grow up, we do this. And like, what did we learn from our life? And what are we learning from ourselves? And I'm like, okay, that wasn't cool. Like, even though I didn't intend it to be that way, that's how it was received. And I need to take responsibility for it. Yeah. Yeah. And that's more what's happened. I had someone be a complete mean to me, unexpected too. Yeah. I was like at my last event, like my last job when I was managing our largest event. When you had, what was it like? We were at the Long Beach State at the Pyramid. So we were hosting, I think we had about 3,300 competitors. So I'm in charge of the athletes. I'm in charge of like the, who their coaches are. I'm in charge of like just everything. But if there's anything customer service related, I am your person. So I'm fixing issues. And I'm fixing something at the moment. And one of the owners at the time, I think I shared this on one of the podcasts. Maybe I didn't. But she was like,
Yeah, I think I
Yeah?
remember. Yeah,
Oh,
I remember.
Girl.
Sorry, I got scared. I remember.
girl, she said something to me and I was like, I pretty much said like, I'm busy right now. Like,
Mhm.
I can't. And you can't, she was just more of like, why are you being such a fucking bitch?
Oh, I know,
and I
it's
am
terrible.
like, excuse me? And I
Terrible.
had an athlete that I was helping him because they messed up his results and I needed to fix it because if he wasn't going to place, like he needed to be back on the mat, like things like that.
Mhm.
Where I'm like, I looked at her and I was in disbelief. I'm like, did I just really hear you say that? Yeah. She said, you're a fucking bitch.
That is so terrible. And this is your boss.
Yeah, this is my
So
boss. And I
terrible.
looked at the athlete and I said, I am so sorry that you just had to witness that. I'm going to finish here with you. Here, you're all set. Finished with him. Hand it down. I'm like, go talk to this person. They're going to get you back on the mat. I look at her and I'm like, I'm fucking done. And I walked out.
Good for you.
And actually, I didn't even say fucking. I didn't give her
Good
a bad
for
word.
you. Good for
I
you.
said, I'm done. I'm walking away from this.
Mhm.
I got up and the pyramid has 2 levels and I just walked and I paced the whole upper level. Like I was breathing hard because it's old Vero would be like, what? But she's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I wasn't going to go fight her. Right? She would have choked me out. But even then I was like, old Vero would have been like, I'm going to throw these computers on your head. Like I'm going to find a way to defend myself. I'm going to flip these tables over. You figure it out now, you know?
Yeah.
I would have caused a scene. And I'm just like, I am not going to do that. Like so unnecessary,
Mhm.
unprofessional. Like here, you know, this is a person that gave us money to participate in this event where we're
Terrible.
a professional organization and you're going to do that. It was bad. Like it took a while and a lot of 3 different people to convince me to come back down to the floor to keep running and operating the event. But I was just like, I don't get paid enough for this shit. Not only that, but I was like, I run this. Like you are part of it. Yes, it was.
And I'm a person. You don't talk to me like that.
And the other thing was, yes,
Oh,
I am a person. If you thought that I needed this had more urgency than what I was currently taking care of, then you let me know. Hey, I understand you're doing this, but this needs you like now. Let me take over for you. Or can you assist me really quickly so you can get back to what you need? I can excuse myself. But it took me by surprise. And then after that, there was like no apology. There was nothing. And then it was kind of like, well, if it bothers you, then that's your problem.
No, that's
It was
not
rough.
cool.
But other than that, I don't think, I'm sure there's people that maybe have tried to be mean to me, but I know. Se me resbala como
Yeah,
dices
I love
así.
it. I love
just
it.
me va, I'm like melted butter.
I know. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Entonces, always says que se te resbale. No, I really think it has to do with time and place. First of all, I don't think that in the workforce, like never to be talked to like that. Like that was beyond mean. That was not appropriate. It should never happen. You should never tolerate that. And I'm glad that you did your best to not curse her out because I probably wouldn't have been able to be so poised in the moment. But you know what you got to do in the moment. So like we did what we had to do yesterday. It's kind of like, this is awkward. Like, okay, well, goodbye. Like, and we've all been there, but I think it's definitely true that we've all experienced mean girls and we've all been mean girls. But I think when someone's being a mean girl in my personal world, I think you're going through something. Like, you don't know what people are going through. Like, I know when I've been not the best friend, not the best wife, not the best relative, it's because I'm going through something myself. So it's like, it's very easy to take it out on other people or to be short with other people or to be even looking for things in other people that they're doing wrong to you that they're not. Like, I remember when my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, I love them to death. They're awesome. When they bought their house, I definitely felt jealousy. I was like, we're trying to buy this house. It's not working for us. They have their house. Look at their beautiful house. And I remember working through those feelings before I got to see her home because I was like, I'm not going to be genuine if I'm worried about myself. And I remember like, I'm going to be extra. I'm going to be extra. Like, I love this. I love that. Honest. So I was like, I'm going to go look for things that I love. Then I see this house. I love everything. And I was just so like, it's amazing. It's good that you did it. It's great that you did it. Cause I was trying to fight my urge to like, not say those things because deep down it's like I want to be in my new house.
Yeah.
And I had to like psych myself out to go in there. And I just remember being super like, it's cool that you did this. It's cool that you're adding this. I really love this. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. You getting this house is a big deal. And like really trying to do the opposite of what my natural instinct was to feel jealousy. But of course I told her brother, my husband, like, dude, it makes me feel bad. Doesn't it make you feel bad? Like the things that we're trying to do and we still haven't done them. Like she's like 10 years younger than us. We've been working at this. We haven't done it. And it's like, nope, I don't feel anything at all. Like men are different and he doesn't feel any level of sort of like envidia, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to have. Like nothing at all. I'm like, doesn't it make you want to like be on it? Like get it? Like you don't want to move. You don't want to, and I just wanted him to have these feelings. Like, doesn't it like stir like, no, babe, no. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's you.
Yeah.
And then we buy our house and I just felt really like, okay, that was our goal. We did it. And then immediately following, like maybe like 6 months later, his other brother buys a house. And I just remember like, we're going to pour into them and good job. And you got your house. And here I had no jealousy. I felt no feelings other than it was important to love on her. So I'm going to love on them like I loved on her because I did that for her. But I remember being really aware of those feelings. Like I was jealous. I wanted to have that too. I wanted to be able to do that. And I didn't want to feel left behind. I didn't want to feel like, what are we not doing that they can do? Like we can do it. We're capable. Why is it not happening for us? But see, if I would have fed into the desire to be like envidiosa, I would have walked in and be like, oh, this is cool.
Pero la envidia,
I don't like your
jealousy
street.
is hard.
I'm like, fuck these black boys.
Shit.
Yeah. But she's in a place that I wanted to be at.
But the thing is that we're all on different journeys, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't mean it's not in your plans to do it. It just happened at a different time for them.
Yeah.
And, they like, I remember for a long time, you were like, I am okay not owning.
Yeah.
So the fact that you were okay with that, like own it and be it, even if it's like, I'm okay not owning right now, but I want to own in like 5 years or 2 years, or we're working towards it and it's a goal that's there.
Yeah.
Despite all of that, like we are each on different like journeys and paths. And it's like, you gotta, and things llegan a su tiempo that's right for you.
Yeah.
And even like, I think that there's times where you kind of want to fight it. You kind of like feel it. You're like, but wait, you kind of have to shake it off. You're like, wait. I'm going to be there. It's just not right now for us because it's not where we want to be. Like I remember you mentioned like, if I wanted to buy it, I would buy it in Downey. Remember you were saying like, I would buy here.
Yeah.
And I could get that house, but I don't want to live there. And the thing is that you knew what you wanted. And that's what the beauty is. Like you need to realize, what do I want? What is my time? What is my path? What is the steps to get there? And it's unique for each one of us. And when it is time to cheer it. Yeah. And a veces,
even when it's hard,
even when it is really
even
hard.
when it's hard to cheer on other people that are doing what you want to do. And like, and for other people it comes easy too. Like sometimes we're like having a hard time to celebrate but that's what comes easy to them. So you have to celebrate that's like, maybe it doesn't come easy to you. Like it's not a comparison. It's not a race. We have like different gifts, different strengths, right? So, maybe the girl that says yesterday, it's like, this is my world. What are you doing in it? I think there was a tinge of that. Like you girls do not belong in my world because she's more maybe in the tech world than we are. And it's like, we absolutely belong here. That's what we debriefed today. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we absolutely belong here. Like, Latinas in tech are learning from us. We're coaching them. They're a nonprofit. We're a nonprofit. Like, there's so many similarities because I don't work at Google, like, because I don't work at Zelle or wherever.
We use technology. We're using it now to record this podcast.
It's important.
But it isn't even that literal. It's not.
Yeah.
But for Latinas. Latinas in tech, level up Latina.
They're leveling up. Yeah, they're leveling up.
Yeah,
in
tech.
Latinas. They're Latinas in tech leveling up.
As Latinas. So all those L's to say we're not losers. We're not losers and we belong there. But there was a tinge I felt of her being like, what are you doing here? Like she looked her nose down at us, I felt. And that's the part where that definitely feels like Mean Girl territory.
Ceci, have you experienced Mean Girls?
Ceci's perfect.
No me acuerdo. Like someone mean to me.
Yeah.
Pues no me acuerdo. I just remember like in my prior law firm, like the legal assistants just being very, very what's the word? Catty. Very catty.
With each other.
With each other. Pero a mí me llegaba la vibra. And then it's weird because I was the legal assistant there first, right? So then I was cool with the legal assistants and some of them, and they're still my homies to this day, and my sister and my cousin. So they would get it. So a mí me encabronaba because I'm like, I would see it. So I can't think of anything else.
Were you ever mean to anybody? Oh, you said you're a nanny.
Yeah, to my nanny.
And remember the girl in college? And then we were still like, oh, you didn't want to bring her around? Remember that girl in college? Yes.
VIP?
Yes.
VIP. Oh, yeah.
Me caía gorda.
Es que me caía gorda.
Ceci did not want her around.
Me caía gorda.
Me caes gorda.
Yeah, gorda. Me caía gorda.
So we've been
That's right.
girls.
That's right. I was mean to that person in particular. And then I was also mean to someone else. But tenía yo razón because she kissed a guy that I was dating. Remember that story?
Really? That's
yes, you were right there fucking egging me on. So
egging, you want to be mad at her?
Yeah.
You don't want to hate her then? We hate her forever.
Yeah.
Do we hate her forever?
No, I don't hate her anymore.
Okay.
Como dijimos, let's drop that off. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
And
then
don't want it to be cancer, so we forgive.
Yeah, exactly. I totally forgave her. But and then well, I wasn't no estaba en mis 5 sentidos porque había tomado, but I remember when I slapped Lisette.
Oh yeah, we've all been the mean girls with our best friends. We've been isolated from her.
Remember
We've messed
that?
up with her. I sent her an image once of a girl, and I was like, "You've been replaced."
Yes.
She didn't talk to me for like a year now.
She
I said, "I'm
unfriended
sorry."
us.
She unfriended us. She hated us. But I talked to her like every month. You le mandaba mensajes. I would apologize.
That was those mean girls.
After you've been a mean girl, you have to
Hold on.
make amends.
I have a story with
you
Liz
have
too.
to
The
make
time that she's
amends.
like, you kicked us out of your
Oh,
house.
yes. También esa vez.
You're ghetto. I was like, I just asked you to stop stomping because I don't know we're having a fucking party.
Yes,
You know?
you guys got,
And she's like, no. And then she came back for you, Ceci. Vámonos.
Yeah, we got in a fight in Palm Springs recently where she was like, we all took those pictures in white. And I was like, well, yeah, you wanted us to be taking pictures in white. You're like such a dictator. I'm not a dictator. I'm like, yes, you are. And I responded really like strong and stern.
I remember that.
Thinking that she was going to be okay with that. Like, and she was not okay with it. And I was like, you are a dictator. Like, you made us take all those pictures. And I even got up from my seat. And I was like, you are a dictator. She was so hurt. She started crying. And Cynthia was like, oh. And I'm like, what? What am I doing wrong? Like, what am I saying wrong?
I fucking missed that.
Yeah, you weren't there. I
wasn't there? Oh, por eso.
And Cynthia was like, I don't know whose side to take. And I'm like, Cynthia, right? I mean, she made us take pictures in white. She decided. And I'm being really like, I think I'm being practical. And I think I'm being like, I'm talking fine.
Yeah.
But I am a little like, what do you mean? Like, you're the reason we took. Y me paré, like, my little neck was shaking. She's like, Irene, you've never talked to me like that. And I go, like, what? Like the way you're calling me a dictator right now. And I'm like, I am? And I was shocked.
Yeah.
And like, but you were. And I thought she was going to understand. Like, yeah. She's like, if you guys didn't want to do it, if you guys, and I'm like, okay, my bad. Like, Cynthia, I don't know. Am I like, and then I really backpedaled because I'm like,
you digoed.
Yeah. I backpedaled.
You're like using technical terms. And for her, she was like, no.
And I'm like, did I say, was I mean? And I go, okay, my bad. Like, if you didn't think that was my bad, my tone, my this, my that. And I was totally like de-escalating, me lo estaba llorando. And I remember thinking, she must be going through something, maybe in therapy or, exacto, where she felt so like, don't tell me I did something wrong. And I remember telling her bien con toda confianza in the world, like she was going to agree with me. It was so awkward. We had to stop watching, or we were watching a show, we're all like watching it in silence. And I'm like, that was so awkward. Like I came on too strong. Like we're homies. I can tell you this. She was hurt immediately and crying. So I'm like, am I wrong? Cynthia, like she made us take those pictures and Cynthia did not have my back. And I'm like, okay, my bad. I really had to be like completely okay with it, but it did not go well. And it was super awkward, but we were over it. Like 2 weeks later, like hugging and loving on each other. Yeah. But she felt attacked by being called a dictator because she made us, she never posted those pictures.
I get called a dictator too.
But did you react
with
like that?
with HAU? That's why they implemented the whole like coaches can only coaches can only be coaches for 1 year.
Oh, they didn't want you to do it for 2 years.
They were like, Vero, you need to let go of your.
Because she did it 2 years.
I did it for 2 years, but I was a founder.
She was a founder,
co-founder of Hermanas, and then it was like one of the following. Then I ran for coacher, and I got the coacher position, which I did with Elisa. And then after that, I don't know if I ran again.
You were with Elizabeth, no?
Oh yeah, Elizabeth and I. So we founded the organization. We didn't have a steering committee, right? So then the following year was official elections, and then it's like, oh, our first year kicked off, and then I ran again.
Yeah,
but we didn't have anything in place saying you can't do that again. But I was like, oh, we finally have a feel for what it is to run. So you wanted to run again? So I wanted to run again. I'm like, let's make sure it stays smooth, not because I wanted to control it, but because I'm like, there's going to be a whole committee that we need to work with, you know? So anyway, I ran again with Elizabeth. That's right. I did coach her with Elizabeth. And well, at the next,
you got voted out of our house.
Oh my God. Mean girls suck, you guys. But the next like huge conference, there was like, we discussed the whole, like everything. They're like, and the founding mother of Hermanas, right? One of the founding mothers was like, we can't be doing dictator stuff and like blah, 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 blah. And so it was like referring to me that I was a dictator, not trying to leave the post. And I was like, I'm fine leaving it, but maybe it should be in writing because we don't want this to happen again, right? Like I don't want to be Trump and then change everything, right? So yeah, I was called a dictator.
But also, you were going to leave eventually. You can't stay forever. You've started something.
I stayed for 5 years. I am still co-chair.
She's still the co-chair.
No, look, but we've all done it. We've all done mean girls things. We've all been the mean girls. We've all fought with the same girl. Y'all just
That's true.
You just brought that one girl up. Like, she is a mean girl. And
I had mean girl in college. There was, Paul Paul's ex, or Paul's now wife.
Yeah. Oh, we cannot
now
say her
wife.
name then.
Yeah.
Well, Moonface. We call her Moonface. That's me being a mean girl, calling her Moonface. But she called me a heifer. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't insulted. I'll tell you why, because this girl that used to say peckin and say all these words, I had no idea what a heifer was.
Yeah. So
You called me a vaca.
You were like, heifer mode. Thank you.
I was like,
not heifer mode?
Heifer with frog eyes. Okay. A heifer. I was a heifer with frog eyes.
Otro enamorado.
Otro enamorado.
¿Cómo se enamoraba Vero
Ay, es que
in
yo
college?
doy el amor.
You do. Vero's the best. But
I'm
sometimes
just
you're the
like-
best. You're mean a little bit. We've all done it. We've all done it.
But yeah, I think I was mean to one other person, and I think in college, and it was a member of another organization.
Oh.
But the only reason I was mean to her was because she was really mean to like me, and we were like that's when we were trying to start HAU and do all these things. But and I was mean to her because she was spreading rumors about stuff, and I'm like, you don't even know me, you don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that person was just like, she needed someone to be mean to her. Like, yeah,
you were doing her a favor.
I think I know who it is.
We're whispering.
Yeah.
So let's just play telephone. You can cut it out. You can cut it out. Yeah. Hater.
Yeah. She
Mean,
super hater. She's a hater to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you tripping, girl. This is no. Anyway, yeah. But that was another person.
Yeah, I think that's jealousy. I think that is straight up jealousy. When someone tries to roadblock you from doing something and being there, like there's room for everybody. Like in that situation, like they didn't want you to exist. Hermanas unidas, right? Like, no, they can't exist. You can make up a billion reasons why things can't exist. And then you go to some universities that have thousands of organizations. Like, don't worry, homie. Like more of us can be here. And that hater, like gatekeeping. Oh my God. Like, how many women are gatekeeping now from opportunities, possibilities, connections? Like, don't be a gatekeeper. Like tip of the day, like let people do what you're doing. You can be in the same space. I love that about us. We run into other coaches. We hyped them up. We hyped them up. I love how we reacted when we saw the first gen coach. Like she's technically our competition. It's all good. Like right now we were strategizing about who needs to come back to the podcast. Like there's plenty of space for all of us. And she's a coach too. Bring her back to the podcast. Like that mentality is so much better. And I think you get it in your 40s. Like you get that in your 40s. Yeah. But in your 20s, maybe it's like not her. Yes, me, my crew, not them. Don't bring them. There's not room for all of us. Like there's room for all of us. And if there isn't, we can go to a different country.
That's part of the age too. In your 20s, you're still trying to figure yourself out. And you're like, how do they have themselves figured out? So jealousy, envy, all that kicks in. But then,
like they didn't want you to compete, which is weird. Why not let us compete?
20s, the 30s get better. 40s, I think, are the best.
Yeah.
We're kind of over the mean girls a little bit, or not?
Forget you, mean girls. We're going to be over you because you're not going to ruin our dinner.
Yeah. Truth is, we can all work on not being mean girls when we feel that spark of jealousy. We can all work on being more collaborative, celebrating other women, collaborating with them on your platform, having them on yours, like sharing each other's wins. I love that about the show. Like we will put anybody on our show. We don't charge for those guest spots. We will give everybody free marketing. We will put you on our following. We will throw you in our newsletter. We will shout you out on our social media, like the anti-mean girl, like celebrating each other.
Amplify their voice and their story.
Amplify each other on LinkedIn, on every. We barely knew each other's names today for a workshop we were in. I was like, I don't know their emails, but email them. We were totally stumbling. If you were there, if you're new to our podcast today, if you met us at Latinas in Tech, somos bien chismosas because look, we're already talking about the conference and now you're here listening to this episode and we're already talking about our lifelong friendship and all the stuff. But any final thoughts for mean girls and how to alleviate that experience? It's going to keep happening. It happens at work. Oh my God, it happens at school. PTA. The PTA is full of mean girls.
Oh my God, don't even get me started. I don't even want to be part of that circle.
Girl. I have come across some ultimate mean girls in the PTA, but I do my best to be involved and like not get in with when I see it. Yeah, I kind of like, I'm not going to say anything. Like I've had people say mean things about other moms, mean things about kids. I'm like, oh, hell no.
Oh my God.
Like moms that talk about other kids. No, there are moms that sit there and judge kids. Hell no. Oh,
you know, just things that people do that are hurtful. My tip or my suggestion for mean girls is like, sit with it. Your face is going to express everything and just be comfortable in knowing that if you are truly wanting to be mean, there's going to be women that are not mean that are going to put you on blast. Yeah. And be comfortable with being called out on your meanness because there are going to be more outspoken women out there. There are going to be people that do not put up with that kind of stuff. So just if you're mean, be prepared for when someone is mean to you because it's gonna hit you. It's gonna hit you like a big old slap in the face, and it's not like literal, but it's gonna feel like what? And that's what it feels like, what you do to other people. So don't dish it if you can't hash it.
I know. That is the truth.
In conclusion, no seas mala.
Quiérete.
Quiérete. Find your community.
Quiérete.
We are the opposite of Mean Girls. We've been having such a good time together. We're so glad that you're on the podcast joining us today. We want to send you a lot of love if you're dealing with Mean Girls, if you're in an organization that feels like catty, like Ceci described earlier, if you have a boss that's not approachable, if you have friends that are alienating you. My last comment is that, I have a lot of clients that they have friends in their circle as they're aging that are having babies or getting booed up, or suddenly they're busy. They're in a new church. They have a new job. They're with new people. And suddenly you feel like you're on the receiving end of Mean Girls because people's lives are changing. That's not totally true. Don't believe the hype. Everybody's life is evolving. And when people are parents, they get busy in a new way. When people are growing in the corporate ladder, have new jobs, starting businesses, being entrepreneurs, try also not to take it personal. People are just doing stuff, and they're not even thinking about you. They're just thinking about themselves. They're just trying to move in this world and survive and stay married and raise kids and have businesses. They are not trying to be mean. So perspective. If you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling like there's Mean Girls in your bubble, please join the Guilt Free Squad. Come to the Guilt Free Squad. Is this important? Because you were laughing about something. You want to throw it on the show?
I'm saying, like, I could have been into someone and instead I was like, You want to measure your hands? Okay.
Oh my God. That's
for a random show.
Weirdo Uber drivers. We'll talk about that next week. Yeah. So you're going to hear about that next week, that we have. That was so nice that the Uber driver practically impregnated her because she's being so nice to the Uber driver. Too nice. Yeah, he would have got a mouthful from me, and he would have known I'm a mean girl. Listen. Join the Guilt Free Squad if you're looking for community. We still have our anniversary sale going on, $3 a month, to get a group coaching community of women that are so supportive. The opposite of Mean Girls, super love, super celebration, super vulnerability, being honest, being supportive of one another. So the Guilt Free Squad, you can find out more at leveluplatina.com. And you can follow us on Instagram. If you don't already follow us on Instagram, it's at leveluplatina. Look us up on LinkedIn. It seems like everybody's navigating in that space. We're all on LinkedIn. Level Up Latina's on LinkedIn. And until then, we are so happy to have been here together with all of you. Las queremos mucho. This is a wrap for episode 247 on Mean Girls and surviving and being one. And changing. From San Francisco. Besos.